As I predicted on weekdays, it's a little bit of a smaller crowd. So if you can come a little bit together, I can feel like there's a little bit of an environment. Sisters, you're already there. Thank you. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين مبير الظالمين رحمة للعالمين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى أهل البيت الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين ولعن الله أعداهم أجمعين إلى يوم الدين أما بعد فقد قال الله وقوله الحق بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والنفس وما سواها فالحمها فجورها وتقواها قد أفلح من زكاها وقد خاب من دساها صلوات على محمد وآل محمد. Our discussion has reached its third day, alhamdulillah. And yesterday we introduced our topic to be attempting to create this environment where we are living an Islamic life in America, in the West. And we mentioned that every day, inshallah, maybe across 2 days, we'll tackle and we'll look at and we'll attempt to apply or inject inside of us a dimension that will help us reach this ultimate goal, which is very difficult, by the way. And yesterday we began by talking a little bit about this concept of divine law versus man-made law. And then the heart of the speech yesterday was this concept that Islam doesn't move away from this dunya. That Islam is asking you to enjoy your life in this dunya. It's yours to live in. It is a bridge and a transitional phase towards the actual hayat, the actual zindagi that we have, the actual life that we have being the akhirat. So if we ignore this world being a bridge to the next world, our next world would be a little bit damaging. We gave the example yesterday of this idea of acquiring wealth in Islam, being a wealthy person, having a huge home, a nice car, a simple life, a very easy life, where maybe our youth believe that this misconception that Islam doesn't allow you to have such a life. We gave 2 examples yesterday, one of Qanun and one of Bibi Khatija salamu alayhi. And we mentioned how both individuals were very wealthy, however their aqibat, their eventual conclusion or their destination was different. One is a lady who is praised and respected every Thursday, at least by us as Zat al-Waritha, and the other was swallowed by the ground by Allah's punishment. These are lessons for us, no doubt. And we went through that yesterday. Today, however, we want to talk a little bit about the obstacles that exist in our way. When we attempt to create a lifestyle, we attempt to create an ideology, we attempt to change the way we live our life, there are obstacles on the way, no doubt about it. But anytime you want to conquer anything, there's always hurdles and roadblocks and potholes on the way. Elevation in Islam also has its respected potholes. So today I want to make sure that we identify 3 main potholes and 3 main enemies in our progress. How to handle each one by one, and what can we do to make sure these enemies either weaken or don't come back at all, inshallah. Because you know, dushman shanasi, as they say in Farsi, is extremely important. That if we take this analogy of a battlefield, because right now, you know that we are all mujahids. We are all individuals who are in battle with ourselves. The greatest jihad being that of ourselves, where the enemy is not some foreign policy, it's not some country, it's not some individual, it's not a group of people, it is our own selves, our own desires, our own nafs, our own soul. And so if we are fighting this battle, and we do every single day, there are components to battles that exist. Whether it's the weaponry, whether it's defense system, whether it's your enemy, whether it's your mindset, all these different factors come about when you talk about a battlefield and you being someone who is doing jihad against yourself. So one component that our ulama have really kind of put an emphasis on is this idea of understanding who your dushman is. Dushman Shanasi. Understand who the enemy is and what their strategy is as well. 3 enemies, and all of us, mashallah, know who our enemies are. One, of course, is shaitan. Our open enemy is shaitan. لَكُمْ عَدُوٌ مُبِينٌ, the Quran says. He is your open enemy. Nothing he does or doesn't do is for our betterment. It doesn't matter how nicely it's packaged, how nice it looks, how nice it feels. It is not for our progression. It is for our corruption. But how do we fight shaitan is a question. Because we know shaitan, and by the way, this is the month that we really train ourselves in fighting shaitan. We have countless ahadith that tell us that the doors of hell are closed and the doors of heaven are open. Allah's mercy is infinite in this month. In fact, we have a hadith by our Holy Prophet that even shaitan is chained and locked up. So he's not a factor in this month for us at all. This is the best time for us to get our tools, get our resources, build our willpower and strength. So come post-Eid, after the month of Ramadan, when shaitan is now free to do his thing, we have the appropriate tools to fight him. That's why they say that if you don't achieve what you want to achieve in this month, you truly are one of those who are the khasirun, the losers, as they say in the Quran, those who have lost the opportunity. So let's not be of those who will have guilt, like I said, after Eid, that oh, if only I did this, if only I did that. Shaitan. The number one mistake that we make, and especially my young individuals, is that we have this sense of invincibility amongst our youth, where we believe we can take on shaitan by ourselves. Let's examine who shaitan is for a moment, very, very quickly. Shaitan is an existence that has been around since Prophet Adam's time. That's one advantage he has over us. He has lived in the life of every prophet and every imam and lives today. Second advantage. He can see us, we can't see him. Third advantage. Fourth advantage, he knows our weakness sometimes better than we know it ourselves. And only until we falter do we realize that, oh, shaitan got me. These 4 advantages are the reasons why our Holy Prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has a beautiful hadith where it says, Ya ilahi la takilni illa nafsi tarfata aynin abada. That, oh Allah, do not leave me at the disposal of my nafs for a blink of an eye. Alaykum salam. For a blink of an eye. Do not leave me at the disposal of my nafs for a blink of an eye. Who's saying this? You and I? The Holy Prophet. Again, a lesson for us to understand that if we have any hopes in fighting shaitan, we should not think for a moment that at this stage in your life, my youngsters and my youth, that you're able to fight shaitan. If you are, alhamdulillah, maybe you're able to get him a few times. But do not have this idea or this concept of invincibility where I can fight shaitan everywhere I go. I'm going to go to the bar, I'll have orange juice. I want to go to homecoming, I won't dance, I won't go inside, I won't do anything. I'll watch Indian movies, I won't listen to the songs. You're putting yourself in a position for shaitan to lure you away from God, and you think for a moment that you can fight shaitan. What ends up happening is what you don't want to happen. So our imams teach us that, look, if shaitan can see you and you can't see him, then you have to go to this existence, this creator, who has the one advantage over shaitan, in that he can see shaitan, shaitan can't see him. So we cling to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have complete tawakkul of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us fight shaitan. Using divine assistance, as it's called in our books. Without it, we're in trouble. The other second mistake that we make is we think that for a moment, we know that shaitan, by the way, is not one existence. Shayateen, they say in the Quran, he has a full army. Another advantage. We're one person, he has an army. And depending on how strong or how weak we are, he sends the appropriate people. If you're a weak guy, he sends these little bache to go lure him away from the path. If you're strong enough to fight him, he'll send the big boys. If, again, you're strong enough, he'll come himself and lure you away from the path. So do not think for a moment, and I'm not here to make you feel hopeless. I'm leading towards something. Stay with me. Do not think for a moment that because you have said no to shaitan once, he'll go away. He's, as they say in Urdu,